The rap game has seen its fair share of betrayals. But this one hit different. Because when it comes to GloRilla and Megan Thee Stallion, what started as sisterhood turned into something darker, something no one saw coming. These two queens came up showing nothing but love. Fans watched them laugh together, dance on stage, and hype each other up like real family. But behind the lights, behind the glam, jealousy was slowly creeping in, silent, patient, and deadly. Now the streets are talking. Rumors say Megan felt GloRilla was trying to copy her sound, her style, even her stage presence. Others say GloRilla felt Megan used her for clout, and once she got her shine, she left her behind. Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure, something snapped, and when it did, the fallout wasn't just messy, it was cold-blooded. Private texts leaked, secret studio drama, and subtle shade on live performances. It all came crashing down like a house of cards. Fans are still debating what really happened between these two. Was it ego? Industry pressure, or just heartbreak disguised as betrayal? Because in this world, loyalty doesn't last forever. And fame can turn sisters into strangers overnight. Before the chaos, before the betrayal, GloRilla and Megan. The Stallion were the definition of real sisterhood in rap. Megan had already become a global superstar, Grammy wins, hit singles, brand deals, and an entire movement of empowerment behind her name. But when GloRilla stepped onto the scene with her raw Memphis energy and that unforgettable anthem FNF, Let's Go, Megan was one of the first big artists to show her love. She didn't gatekeep. She didn't compete. She reached out. Megan invited GloRilla on stage, shouted her out in interviews, and even hinted at a possible collab. And when that collaboration actually happened, Tomorrow too, it was like watching two generations of Southern rap royalty collide. The chemistry was real. Their energy was contagious. Fans loved seeing two powerful women winning together in an industry that too often pits female rappers against each other. But behind those smiles, things weren't as perfect as they looked. Industry insiders started whispering that GloRilla's rise was making Megan uncomfortable. Megan had gone through a rough couple of years, from label issues to public feuds and court drama. She was rebuilding her image, trying to reclaim her power. Then here came GloRilla, younger, rawer, and completely unfiltered. The label execs saw it, the fans saw it, the blogs saw it, and slowly, comparisons started rolling in. GloRilla's the new Megan. She's taking Meg's spot. Memphis just birthed the next Houston superstar. Those words cut deep. Megan, who had fought her way from college classrooms to global stages, wasn't ready to be replaced, not by someone she helped uplift. But the crazy part? GloRilla didn't mean any harm. She genuinely admired Megan. She saw her as a big sister, someone who broke down doors so girls like her could walk through. But when people started comparing them, GloRilla leaned into it instead of stepping back. She started dressing bolder. She started talking slicker. Her interviews got more confident, almost too confident. And Megan? She noticed every bit of it. Then came the first red flag, a subtle but icy Instagram unfollow. Fans caught it instantly. Megan had quietly unfollowed GloRilla. Comments flooded in. Wait, what happened between them? Did Meg just cut Glo off? Y'all, the sisterhood era is over. At first, both rappers stayed quiet. But silence in the industry speaks louder than words. Soon after, GloRilla appeared at an award show wearing a nearly identical outfit to one Megan had worn at a past performance. The blogs ran wild with side-by-side comparisons, stirring up even more drama. From that moment on, it was no longer Megan and Glo against the world. It was Megan versus GloRilla, whether they admitted it or not. And when fame meets pride, something's bound to explode. Everything changed the night of the BET Hip Hop Awards. Megan and GloRilla were both performing, two of the biggest female rappers in the game, back-to-back sets. It should have been another celebration of women running hip-hop, but instead, it became the night their friendship officially broke apart. Backstage, whispers filled the hallway. Megan's team was tight-lipped, focused, cold. GloRilla's crew, on the other hand, was loud and full of energy. Both artists were in the same building, just a few rooms apart, but they didn't even make eye contact. According to a few insiders, Megan's team didn't want GloRilla going on stage right after Megan. They thought it would invite comparison, or worse, make Megan's performance seem less powerful. But Glo's camp wasn't having it. She told her team straight up, "I ain't nobody's opening act. I'm headlining too." That comment hit social media within hours. A fan who overheard it tweeted about it, and suddenly, our Glo's Meg was trending before either of them even touched the stage. When the lights dimmed and GloRilla stepped out, she came with fire. Her energy was raw, her movements wild, and the crowd fed off her confidence. But when Megan's set followed, it felt different. Her performance was flawless, but her energy wasn't the same. Fans online noticed immediately. Meg seemed mad off rip. GloRilla really outperformed her big sis tonight. That night, Megan didn't stick around for photos or the after party. She dipped early. No words, no hugs, no selfies. The next morning, her Instagram story posted a single quote, "Everybody not built to be real. Some of y'all just built to be loud." Fans instantly assumed it was shade toward GloRilla, and if there was any doubt before, that post erased it. For the next few weeks, both camps pretended like nothing was wrong, but insiders claimed there was more going on behind the scenes, especially when Megan's label started reaching out to producers who had just finished working with GloRilla. One producer leaked that Megan's team requested similar beats to GloRilla's recent tracks, a move that felt petty, intentional. Like she was trying to remind everyone, "I did it first." Then came the interviews. GloRilla sat down with The Breakfast Club and was asked about her friendship with Megan. Her tone changed. She smiled politely but didn't give much away. "You know, people grow apart. Ain't no beef, though. I'm just focused on me right now." It was diplomatic, but fans read between the lines. Ain't no beef, and there's beef. A few weeks later, Megan dropped a freestyle that sent the internet spiraling. One line in particular hit different. "I made room for some chicks who ain't last a whole season." The bar wasn't named, but people knew. The shade was crystal clear. Blogs exploded with headlines. "Megan Thee Stallion throws shot at GloRilla? Sisterhood over?" Meanwhile, GloRilla stayed silent for a while, until one night she went live. She didn't call Megan out directly, but her tone was icy. "You can't say you real and still move funny behind people's backs. Some folks forget who cheered for them first." That live went viral. The shade war had officially begun. From there, the tension only grew. Silent unfollows, cryptic captions, and people in their circles choosing sides. Producers, stylists, dancers, even fans. Everyone started picking teams. It wasn't Megan and GloRilla anymore. It was Team Hot Girl versus Team Glo. And in the rap world, once the fans split, there's no going back. Because what started as a simple misunderstanding was about to turn into a full-blown betrayal. By early the next year, the energy between Megan Thee Stallion and GloRilla had completely shifted. Gone were the Instagram comments, the joint photos, the shout-outs. Now their connection existed only in whispers, rumors and subliminals, but if fans thought it couldn't get any worse, they had no idea what was coming next. It all started when GloRilla was spotted in the studio with one of Megan's former producers, a man who had worked on some of Meg's biggest hits before they had a nasty business fallout. When that clip hit the internet, people went crazy. The blogs wasted no time. GloRilla working with Megan's ex-producer. Shade or strategy? Producer. Shade or strategy? Megan's fans saw it as straight-up betrayal. Because this wasn't just about music, it was about loyalty. And to make things even messier, GloRilla dropped a snippet just days later. In it, she rapped, "Used to call me Lil Sis, now you big mad. Guess the crown feel heavy when I'm right on your back." That one line blew up overnight. The internet called it the Megan diss, and although Glo tried to play it cool, the damage was done. Megan's fans, the hotties, flooded GloRilla's comments with snake emojis, calling her fake, calling her ungrateful. But Glow's supporters clapped back, saying Megan was the one who switched up first. The line was drawn in the sand. Behind the scenes, people close to both women started leaking info. One insider claimed that Megan had confronted Glow months earlier, over private text, telling her to watch who you work with, and that she didn't appreciate the copycat energy. Glow's response? Ain't nobody copying you. I'm just doing me. That one text exchange supposedly ended their friendship for good. Then came the backstab heard around the world. Out of nowhere, GloRilla announced a collaboration with one of Megan's biggest rivals, a female rapper Megan had publicly fallen out with just a year earlier. It was the one move Megan never saw coming. Social media went into meltdown. Oh nah, GloRilla really stabbed Meg in the back. She chose sides. It's official. The track dropped, and it wasn't just a collaboration, it was a statement. The lyrics were slick, filled with subtle references to fake friends, industry chicks with no loyalty, and bosses who fall off. Fans didn't need to guess who it was about. Megan stayed quiet publicly, but her actions spoke volumes. She unfollowed everyone associated with GloRilla's camp. She canceled a joint performance that had been planned months prior, and during her next live show, she told the crowd, "Don't let nobody play in your face twice. The first time, that's on them. The second time, that's on you." The crowd screamed. Everyone knew what, and who, she was talking about. For a while, it seemed like GloRilla didn't care. She was glowing, winning awards, touring, and claiming independence. But behind those smiles, people close to her said she was feeling the heat. Because in the music business, being labeled disloyal can kill your reputation faster than a flop record. Brands started hesitating, collaborations quietly vanished, and Megan's powerful connections in the industry started closing doors for GloRilla, one by one. The two rappers never spoke publicly about it, but those close to them said Megan took the betrayal personally. This wasn't just business anymore. This was family. And when someone you once called sis turns on you in front of the whole world, forgiveness stops being an option. The fall had begun, and the deeper they went, the uglier it got. The internet didn't just watch the fallout between GloRilla and Megan, it fed it. Every post, every lyric, every outfit became part of a bigger war, one that played out on timelines, blogs, and comment sections like a digital battlefield. By this point, both artists had gone from silent shade to strategic pettiness. Megan dropped a teaser clip of a new song on Instagram. It wasn't even a full verse, just one line. But that one line was nuclear. Beaches be fans 1 week, ops the next, wanna eat off my plate but forgot who fed 'em first. The clip went viral in minutes. Fans and blogs flooded the comments tagging GloRilla. And once again, Megan didn't name names. She didn't have to. GloRilla's response came just hours later, on her IG story. "Ain't no plate I ever ate off that I ain't bring food to." The subtweet era had begun. From there, every move felt calculated. When Megan partnered with a major beauty brand, GloRilla suddenly signed a deal with a rival company. When Megan announced a headlining tour, Glow's label dropped her own tour dates the exact same week. Even their fans started fighting online, literal cyber wars. Hotties versus Glow Gang, memes, edits, comparisons. It was chaos. But behind all the noise, both women were hurting. For Megan, the betrayal hit deeper than just business. She'd opened her platform to Glow, invited her into her circle, introduced her to key industry players. In her eyes, Glow hadn't just betrayed her, she'd disrespected the bond. And for GloRilla, it wasn't betrayal. It was self-defense. She felt like Megan was trying to keep her under her shadow, never wanting her to rise too high. Glow saw herself as the new generation, and she wasn't about to dim her light just to make someone else comfortable. That difference in perspective became the root of their war. Things got even worse during Rolling Loud Miami. Both were booked for the same weekend, different stages, but the tension was electric. Rumor had it Megan's team requested not to have GloRilla anywhere near her dressing area. Glo's team, feeling disrespected, decided to make a statement. During her performance, Glo stopped mid-set and shouted to the crowd, "If you know you that bitch, say it loud! Ain't no other chick can take your shine, period!" The crowd went wild. Clips hit social media instantly, and Megan's fans labeled it a direct shot. Hours later, Megan took the stage. She didn't mention names, but her energy was sharp. Her intro music played the beat from Tomorrow 2, the song she once shared with GloRilla, only to cut it off with a record scratch and switch into her new diss track. The crowd gasped. It was official. The friendship was dead. From there, things got personal. Megan's former stylist went live, claiming GloRilla had stolen Megan's team ideas and contacts. Glo fired back online, accusing Megan's camp of trying to blacklist her quietly. And in one emotional Instagram post, GloRilla finally broke her silence in full. I loved that girl for real. I had her back when folks was clowning her. But some people only want you around when they on top. Soon as you shine a little too bright, they turn on you. But it's cool. I'm good. That post hit millions of views. Fans were divided right down the middle. But behind the screens, people close to both camps said the truth was simple. Two women who once called each other sisters had let fame, pride, and pain turn them into enemies. And even though neither of them wanted it to go this far, it was too late to turn back now. Because in hip-hop, once the world sees the cracks, there's no hiding the break. By the time summer rolled around, the Megan GloRilla fallout wasn't just personal beef anymore. It was an industry power struggle. Both artists had grown beyond their hometowns. Megan had become a global face for empowerment and luxury brands, while GloRilla represented raw authenticity and the voice of the streets. But now, instead of lifting each other up, they were tearing each other down, and everyone in the business was watching. Insiders say that what happened next wasn't just emotional. It was strategic revenge. It started when Megan was in talks with a major streaming service for a documentary deal. Everything was lined up: the budget, the creative team, the marketing plan. Then suddenly, one of GloRilla's PR reps leaked a story suggesting the doc would include behind-the-scenes shade about other female rappers. That one headline was enough to make the streaming platform hesitate. The deal didn't fall through completely, but it stalled for months. Megan's camp was furious. They believed it was a deliberate move from Glo's side to sabotage her comeback. And while there was no proof, the timing was way too convenient. But GloRilla wasn't sitting pretty either. Around that same time, her label deal started facing tension. Executives loved her sound, but didn't love the beef narrative overshadowing her career. Sponsors began backing out quietly, afraid of getting caught in drama between women rappers. So Glo decided to fight back in the only way she knew, through music. She dropped a surprise single titled "Real Sisters Don't Snake." The beat was heavy, the lyrics were fiery, and one line stood out. Said she made me. But who made her tough? I was lit before that link-up. Don't play rough. It was unapologetic. No names were mentioned, but everyone knew who she meant. And Megan? She wasn't gonna let that slide. 2 weeks later, she dropped her own freestyle, Betrayal Season. It was lyrical fire. She rapped with venom, switching flows like a storm, dropping bars like, "Thought she was my dog, but she barked when I ain't feed her. Funny how the ones you lift up turn into your biggest leeches." The internet exploded. TikTok was flooded with Megan versus GloRilla edits, side-by-side reaction videos, and fan theories breaking down every lyric. But while fans treated it like entertainment, the women behind the headlines were breaking under the pressure. According to people close to GloRilla, she started losing sleep. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Managers, press, and angry fans attacking her online. She felt like she couldn't post without being dissected. Megan wasn't doing much better. Her team wanted her to move on, focus on brand deals, but the hurt lingered. People said her trust in the industry had completely vanished. She started keeping her circle tight. No new friends, no collabs, no handshakes unless contracts were signed. The industry, meanwhile, began quietly taking sides. Some artists stopped working with GloRilla out of loyalty to Megan. Others stayed neutral but kept their distance from both. And that's when the real cost of fame revealed itself. In a world that thrives on alliances and connections, both women found themselves isolated. The same people who cheered for their sisterhood now used their fallout for clicks and content. At award shows, the tension was palpable. Event planners had to schedule their red carpet times apart. Producers avoided putting them on the same festival lineups. It wasn't just a feud, it was a divide in the culture. Still, even with everything falling apart, both artists kept pushing forward. They were too strong, too proud, and too ambitious to bow out. But the truth? Behind those glowing smiles, both were bleeding silently. Because in this game, revenge might feel powerful. But it always comes with a price. And the deeper they went, the harder it became to remember why they were even fighting in the first place. By the time the year ended, the Megan GloRilla feud had gone from industry tea to a full-blown cultural moment. Every hip-hop page, podcast, and YouTube channel was covering it nonstop. But while the fans were entertained, both women were quietly falling apart behind the scenes. Megan, who had always preached strength and sisterhood, felt like she had lost control of her own message. Her music was still charting, but every interview somehow circled back to GloRilla. Every achievement came with the same question: would you ever make up with her? She would laugh it off publicly, but privately, it was eating her alive. Meanwhile, GloRilla was facing a different kind of pressure. Her team wanted her to move past the feud, but she couldn't. Too many fans kept pushing her to respond, to clap back, to keep the energy alive. The drama had become part of her brand, and she hated that. In one quiet studio session, someone close to her said she broke down crying, saying, "I never wanted it to go this far. I really looked up to that girl." The moment that truly shifted everything came at a charity event in Atlanta. Both women were invited, separately of course, to perform for a youth fundraiser. The organizers had no idea they'd both agreed until the day of. When Megan's team found out, they wanted her to cancel. But Megan surprised them. She said, "I'm not running from nobody. I'm showing up and doing my part." That night when GloRilla arrived, she instantly felt the tension. Cameras were ready, fans were whispering, and the media was waiting for a scene. But something unexpected happened. Megan went on first. She didn't say a word about Glo. She performed 3 songs, then closed with Savage. The crowd went wild. When the applause faded, Megan looked out and simply said, "Let's keep uplifting the next generation. The rest? That's between me and God." Then she walked off stage, right past GloRilla. Everyone held their breath. But instead of side-eyeing or ignoring her, GloRilla reached out her hand, and Megan shook it. It wasn't a hug, it wasn't forgiveness, but it was acknowledgement. And for that 1 second, the noise stopped. The clip went viral within hours. Fans couldn't believe it. Some said it was fake, a PR stunt. Others said it was maturity. But for those who had followed the story from the start, that handshake meant everything. Behind the scenes, sources said the 2 women didn't speak that night, but the tension started to fade. No more disses, no more subs, just silence, peaceful, grown silence. For the first time in a year, the industry saw a glimpse of what could have been. 2 powerful women coexisting, not competing. And maybe, just maybe, they both realized that neither of them truly won. Because in this kind of war, there are no trophies, just lessons. Megan went back to focusing on her next album, more mature, more personal, less petty. GloRilla started building her own label, mentoring young artists, making sure no one else went through what she did. Both women grew, separately but stronger. Fans still wonder if they'll ever truly reconcile. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but one thing's for sure, they'll always share a story that hip-hop will never forget. Because in an industry where loyalty is rare and fame can twist the purest friendships, Megan and GloRilla showed the world that even the strongest sisterhoods can fall apart when pride gets in the way. But they also showed something deeper, that even after betrayal, heartbreak, and shade, healing is still possible, if you're humble enough to face the truth. And maybe, just maybe, that handshake wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something real again. At the end of the day, this story wasn't just about GloRilla and Megan Thee Stallion. It was about trust, loyalty, and how fame can twist even the realest bond into a battlefield. Because no matter how loud the beats or bright the lights, everybody bleeds the same when loyalty gets broken. Megan thought she found a sister in Glo. Glo thought she found a mentor in Meg. But sometimes, in this industry, the people you love the most become the ones who cut the deepest. Still, both women proved something powerful. That pain doesn't have to end your story. It can reshape it. And maybe, just maybe, both of them needed this storm to remind them who they really are. So the next time you see smiles on stage or love on social media, just remember, every friendship in the spotlight carries shadows behind it. Because in hip-hop, loyalty isn't just earned, it's tested. And in this test, both GloRilla and Megan learned the same lesson. You can lose a friend, but never lose your power. Lose your power.